Hello folks, welcome back to the Honda Snowblower channel on YouTube. First of all, I want to thank everybody that's given us so much support. You know, joining the channel as a monthly paying member, where you get certain perks, you get early access to videos, you get discounts, you get to private message me with questions that you have about your Honda Snowblower. And we had a drawing last month for channel members only for an oil hose upgrade. And we're just trying to make it more fun for channel members. And if you subscribe to the channel, that's another way to support us. So thank you very much. Look what my wife got me for Christmas. She gave it to me a week early. It says Honda Snowblower Enthusiast with a picture of an HS 1132 YouTube. So she's always giving me gifts for the shop. I think she likes it that I'm out of her hair and I'm in the shop in the garage all the time working on Hondas. Today I want to talk about, let's get to this. Recently, there's been a bunch of storms in the northeast United States, southeastern Canada, the Midwest, parts of Wyoming and the Rockies, and up in Alaska. As you can see, there's nothing here in the Sierra of Lake Tahoe. Hopefully we'll get some snow for Christmas morning. I'm not sure. But anyways, there's something very valuable that I learned from these storms. The channel, the YouTube channel, blew up. I mean, usually we get, a couple thousand views a day, every day people are asking questions or whatever. They're watching the videos, making comments. But after these storms hit, and the same thing goes for all the forums on the internet, the snowblower forums, our Honda Snowblower Enthusiasts forum on Facebook, and there's all kinds of small engine and snowblower forums online. They all blew up. Everybody's blowing up right now. People are asking questions about their snowblowers. And what I'm talking about, what I've learned in the last couple of weeks, is that there's so many issues, so many avoidable problems. Avoidable. People didn't become proactive, check out the machines before they needed them. So they had the following issues like no start, my snowblower won't start, or, and they're having all the kinds of issues, broken cables, broken belts, um, everything that I can see, almost everything I can see, flooding, engine flooding, almost every issue that I'm seeing online on the forums, to me, they're all avoidable. Most of them avoidable. Of course, you're going to have wear and tear issues because of age or because of use. You're going to have some kind of, there's some breakdowns that are avoidable. I'm not saying that everybody's, guilty of not checking their machines. I check out my machines pretty thoroughly. I can't remember the last time I had a breakdown. Of course, I had to make some adjustments. Adjustments are normal. You might have to adjust a cable. You're going to have to adjust your skid shoes or your housing guard or make certain adjustments over time. I'm not talking about adjustments. I'm talking about breakdowns. When you're looking in hindsight, most of these people will say, yeah, I didn't check my machine. It was in the garage or in the shed for the last 7, 8 months. I didn't bring it out until it snowed. And then the first time I used it, it wouldn't start or something broke on it. So what I want to go over really, really quick is a way to avoid that by being proactive and inspecting your machine before you actually need it. This is only take a couple minutes. So let's go over that. Let me get the camera off the tripod and we'll go over it. Thank you for waiting here. Now, this is what I do. You know, this is why I brought out my 624 out of storage last week. If you watched the previous video, I didn't check the oil and the engine stopped on me and I got lucky. But anyways, yeah, the first thing I should have done was check the oil, which I always do. So I checked the oil, I checked the gas. You know, usually I run the gas, you know, really low in the tank. And at the end of the season, I will shut off the fuel and let the engine stall and then, you know, loosen the drain plug here and get all the extra fuel out of the carburetor before I put it away for the winter. But I usually inspect the machine before I put it away, and then I'll make a list. I'll put it on a piece of tape and make a list of all the things I have to take care of. If I can't do it right away, you know, I'll do it, you know, in the fall before I need the machine. But I go through the machine really quick and check all the obvious things like, you know, make sure on this machine, make sure my tires have pressure. I'll make sure that where my cables connect underneath that they're not breaking, they're not splicing out. I want to check the cables. And on this machine here, I took the bell cover off. You know, at the end of the season, it only takes a couple of minutes. You got 4 little bolts that holds the bell cover off. And with the key off and the spark plug unplugged so that you don't kill yourself or lose a hand or something, I'll reach under here and I'll move the belts and feel underneath for cracks and damage and make sure that my belts are in good order, because you know there's nothing more fun than changing the belts in the middle of a blizzard. So if you're gonna, at the end of the season, you want to inspect your belts, and at the beginning of the season, if you haven't done it at the end, then take the belt cover off and check the underneath of your belts for damage and too much wear and looseness or whatever. See my sign? That's pretty cool, huh? Well, anyways, I'll just go through the machine, you know, make sure that the shear pins are present and snugged up, okay, and check adjustments, you know, cable adjustments, the auger belt adjustment on the older machines, the tracks. I'll check the tracks for cracks. Usually they happen at the end here. I'll check for tears and cracks, something that can leave you stranded on the first storm. All right. What else do? I tighten everything up because these machines vibrate a lot. So you want to make sure everything's tight and snug. And what else can I think of? If I forgot things, put it in the comments so everybody can learn. You know, I lubricate everything. You know, usually after 7 or 8 months, things will dry out a little bit. You know, and a little bit of lubrication goes a long way. I'll lubricate my clutches underneath, and anything that moves, you want to lubricate with either penetrating oil to loosen it up, or lithium grease spray to give it a long-lasting lubrication that won't wash off very easily. If you can think of anything else, well, you do want to make sure it starts. So even you take it out of storage or whatever, you check your oil, put in some fresh fuel, ethanol-free fuel if you have it. If you don't have E-free gas, then use fresh gas with a gasoline stabilizer like Stable or ethanol Shield or Startron or something like that. You know, just start it up. let it warm up a little bit, test all the functions and everything. So you've got a pretty fair, good confidence that the machine's going to run and work for you and cut down the possibility of breakdowns during that first storm. Like we've seen in the last week or so, most of these breakdowns were clearly avoidable to me. So take the proactive approach, folks. Watch this channel, subscribe to the channel, watch our videos, join the Facebook group Honda Snowblower Enthusiasts to stay on top of things. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.